Hello friends, in this video I'll present to you the case study of Yahoo. You must be definitely knowing Yahoo, right? We will understand that why this startup, which was in boom, which was really doing great, unfortunately failed. So let's dive in. Yahoo started in year 1994. Let's now understand how did it start and what it exactly did. Now, there is a fundamental need in all of us. That is the need of information, the curiosity to get information. If you are watching this course right now, that is because you want to learn something, you want some valuable information, right? So, the fundamental need of information was solved by Yahoo by developing a search engine and by launching the browser. So basically, Yahoo was one of the first browsers to get ever launched. Okay, so Yahoo did this job pretty well. Now let's understand how it all went. So Yahoo was launched in year 1994 and it did IPO in year 1996. And Yahoo is probably the fastest companies ever to do the IPO. Like there is no company that does the IPO in 2 odd years, right? No one does it, but Yahoo did it, and that was because it literally had 95 million users in 1998, only in 2 years after IPO. And before IPO, they saw 20 million users of traffic on their website. Basically, internet became accessible, and literally lots and lots of people were curious to understand that how was it possible to get information at comfort of their home, because this was the very first time that information was being accessible, right? Today we have Google, which we use day in day out, but at that time it was really new. And so Yahoo had a massive user base. So Yahoo had the first mover advantage if we consider from the standpoint of a search engine. So Yahoo was doing really great. There came a point where Yahoo's share price increased by 600% and it went to $118 from the base price. So Yahoo was doing absolutely great. You can see from this graph that before the dot com boom, the valuation of Yahoo was nearly $112 billion with share price of $118. But after the dot com boom, obviously it was expected in year 2000s that the share price would crash because Yahoo.com, right? It was a dot com company. So let's now have a look at what really went wrong with Yahoo. So what Yahoo did is it acquired a lots and lots of companies, and I'll tell you how much companies it acquired. It acquired 114 companies, and they spent over $18 billion in acquisitions. And Yahoo is probably one of those companies that has acquired most companies, next to Google. So it acquired some of the companies like GeoCities, which was a web hosting service that allowed people to create and publish websites for free. It acquired a company called Broadcast.com, which was an internet radio company. And it acquired a company called Right Media, which was a media company, and lots of other companies it acquired. So the thing is, what went wrong in these acquisitions? Now we know that acquisitions are done to expand the market share or to enter into new markets, and clearly these companies that Yahoo acquired was definitely to enter into new markets. So the thing that went wrong is that they acquired too many companies and failed to identify that which companies to acquire and which to not acquire. Now why am I saying so? Let's understand this. So the biggest mistake in history of Yahoo's existence is that they did not acquire Google. So guys, what happened is in 1998, Larry Page and Sergey Brin, which were the founders of Google, approached Yahoo to sell Google for $1 million. Okay, by the way, Google started in 1998, and in 1998, as I told you, Yahoo was pretty much successful with over 100 million users. So the founders of Google approached Yahoo and they just asked for $1 million. Yes, they asked for this cheap amount. But what happens? Yahoo rejects the offer, and it feels that that Google is a small competition. Why even waste $1 million? and these founders of Google wanted to sell it because they wanted to continue their studies further, and they were not much serious about taking Google forward as a business. Now what happens is, after the rejection of Google, Google grows, and in 2002 Google became very valuable, and the CEO of Yahoo, who was Terry Samuel at that time, realized the potential of Google. So Yahoo this time went to Google and offered a $3 billion deal. Okay, but what happens this time? It was other way around. Google refused this $3 billion deal and instead asked for $5 billion. And the mistake number two of Yahoo is Yahoo turned down the offer again. Yahoo rejected Google again. Now understand how stupid it was of Yahoo. They asked for $5 billion, and Yahoo literally was wasting lots of crazy amount of money, but they did not acquire Google. They should have done that. And imagine if Yahoo had not did this mistake, we would be today using Yahoo and not Google as a browser. That's like really crazy, right? Now the second mistake Yahoo did was it did not acquire Facebook. Now why do I say so? Yahoo went on to acquire, another company called this Flickr. So at that time, when Google had already come a long way in world of online search, new trend emerged in social networking. So in July 2006, in order to compete with Facebook, it acquired Flickr. In fact, what happened is Yahoo attempted to acquire Facebook for $1 billion, but Mark Zuckerberg, demanded $1 billion, and Yahoo bought Flickr because it felt that $1 billion was a high amount to get Facebook. Basically, Yahoo again missed the biggest chance. And the thing is, Yahoo bought Flickr only because it had, it was available for a cheaper price, and Facebook was a bit expensive. But it should have understood that Facebook had a huge user base back then in 2006 and should have acquired it. So this was the second mistake, right? Now let me show you the third mistake of Yahoo. So gradually time passes, Google acquires more users, and Google becomes more and more successful as it algorithms develops. And Google also did some successful acquisitions, which was the successful acquisition of YouTube that happened. So Yahoo saw a gradual decline. Now interesting thing is that Microsoft enters into this battle. Microsoft gives offer of $44 billion in 2008 to Yahoo, but Yahoo rejects it. Yahoo feels that the company is, they have given a very undervalued deal. Yahoo feels that its value is more, and Yahoo demands literally $90 billion in 2008. But Microsoft is not going to give that money, right? So this was time when Yahoo had very less users compared to Google, and in fact, in my opinion, Microsoft gave really good valuation to Yahoo. Yahoo should have sold itself. So two biggest mistake that Yahoo did is it did not acquire companies at right time because it felt that they were expensive. So Yahoo failed to acquire Google and Facebook, and Yahoo did the second mistake that when the time came for it to get acquired, it missed that opportunity as well. So in 2006 and 7 and 2008, three times Yahoo and Microsoft had a talk for acquisition, but this acquisition never happened. Now, one more reason that why Yahoo failed is because it never did innovation. Yes, they lacked an innovation. They never developed their algorithm, whereas Google constantly developed their algorithm to improve their search result, as a result of which customers were always satisfied with Google. And it is very obvious, right? If there are two search engines and one of the search engine is giving you better search results, you are bound to be, using that search engine. So, in order to compete with Google, Yahoo bought Overture for $1.6 billion, right, to compete with the great algorithm Google had. And to your understanding, let me tell you that why algorithm is extremely important for these companies. Algorithm is hard for these companies because the revenue source, the only revenue source this search engine have, is the revenue from ads they get. And to deliver proper ads, they need they need to target the right users, and to target the right users they need to place their ads at perfect accurate search results. And due to this, they need to have a strong algorithm, and to compete with Google they bought Overter. Now, this was the entire story of Yahoo. What happens is, at the end, finally, a company named Verizon acquires Yahoo for $4.5 billion in 2017. So, from being the most visited site globally and once worth $125 billion to being acquired by Verizon for less than 4% of that amount, that is only $4.5 billion. This was the journey of Yahoo, right? So, what are the key learnings from this case study of Yahoo? The first learning is that never underestimate a small market player. Yahoo did the mistake of not buying Google in 2002 as it thought Google was not worthy enough. So understand this. Even in your industry as an entrepreneur, you should analyze your competitors very well. Okay. If there is a chance that you can acquire a small competitor for a bit more amount as well, then go ahead and acquire it, because you never know, if that competitor goes big tomorrow, you are going to get destroyed for sure. So this is something you need to understand, right? Don't underestimate small players, and don't be afraid from the bigger players in the industry. Now, second learning is that doing too much acquisitions is not always the right approach. Some products can be developed and some can be acquired. For example, Google, along with acquiring lot of products, also developed its own products, right? Google acquired YouTube but developed its own product, which was Gmail. It was not that Google only focused on acquisition. So understand why I am saying this. If you're constantly acquiring companies, what happens is, the new staff comes in, the new management comes in, which handles the company, right? This may not be in sync with how your company operates. And if you acquire too much of companies, you don't have you can't give proper focus to each and every company that you have acquired. It is a wise choice to develop some products on your own as well, right? So the third learning is, you must never compromise on innovation when it comes to product development. Google constantly improved its algorithm to show relevant ads, but Yahoo again did the mistake of acquiring Overture to compete with Google in same segment instead of improving their own algorithm. This was the point that I presented you back then as well, that they lacked innovation. So as an entrepreneur, you should understand what innovation is going in your category, right? For example, in India, a grocery delivery startup named Zepto introduced 10-minute delivery for the first time. And so, to catch the competition, other grocery delivery startups had to introduce it as well. So, innovation is extremely important. Like, okay, so the fourth learning that I want to give you is that while valuation of company is important parameter, focusing on its future potential is even more important. What do I mean by this? Yahoo rejected to buy Facebook for $1 billion because it felt the company was overvalued without realizing the future potential of company. So when Facebook deal was going to happen for $1 billion, Yahoo should have acquired it. Why? Because it should have understood that Facebook is already having lots of users and there is a huge potential that this Facebook would definitely grow. But Yahoo missed that opportunity. Instead, Yahoo ended up buying social media app Flickr just because they got it very cheap. They got it at one-fourth price of Facebook. That is why they went on to buy Flickr. So when you are buying companies, when you are acquiring companies, instead of you should not acquire companies on basis of which company is cheap, which companies you are getting at a less price. You should acquire company based on the future value that they can produce. So this were the key learnings from the case study of Yahoo. I hope you learned something valuable. See you in the next one.